guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for being here. If you don't know me, my name is Patty. I make lots of videos about books and also my life and everything, but mostly about books. So in today's video, we are going to be doing a tier ranking list. So I've never done one of these before. I've never recorded one of these before, so I'm super excited. But today's tier list ranking video is going to be popular YA dystopian books from the 2010s. So the typical ones that you can think of, like Hunger Games, Divergent, Maze Runner, and then other popular ones that I read, or there's two of them in there that I didn't read, but I did watch the movie, but I obviously will give the disclaimer when we get to that. So just to start off, actually, let me press record on the screen so you guys can see what is going on. So looking at my list right now, I have 10 books on here. Some of them I don't have anymore and some of them I do, luckily, and the ones that I do have are the ones that are a little less popular, which is good, so then I can read the back of the book. So if you guys haven't read it, you know what it's about. But in this list, in alphabetical order, I think, I have Delirium by Lauren Oliver. So that is this book right here. I still have it. Divergent by Veronica Roth. If you are watching this video, you probably know what Divergent is and you possibly have seen the movies, so I am not going to explain Divergent. The Giver, also an incredibly popular book, and that one was also turned into a movie. This is one of the books that I didn't read, but I did watch the movie, so I'm going to include it in this ranking video. The next is The Hunger Games. Everyone knows The Hunger Games is probably the #1 YA dystopian books from the 2010s. Legend by Marie Lu. So I actually don't have the first book, but I do have the second and third book in the series. And okay, so to give you a synopsis about Legend, because I know this isn't as popular as the other ones. So what was once the Western United States is now the Republic, a nation perpetually at war with its neighbors. Born into an elite family in one of the Republic's wealthiest districts, 15-year-old June is a prodigy being groomed for success in the Republic's highest military circles. Born into the slums, 15-year-old Day is the country's most wanted criminal, but his motives may not be as malicious as they seem. From very different worlds, June and Day have no reason to cross paths until the day June's brother, Matthias, is murdered and Day becomes a prime suspect. Caught in the ultimate game of cat and mouse, Day is in a race for his family's survival while June seeks to avenge Matthias's death, but in a shocking turn of events, the two uncover the truth of what has really brought them together and the sinister lengths their country will go to keep its secrets. Reading that synopsis kind of makes me realize I totally don't remember what this book is about, but I do remember how I felt about it and like little snippets here and there of what happened, especially because I read the whole series. Like it kind of just like blurs between the lines. Matched, which I don't have Matched. I swear I thought I had Matched in my library, but anyway, I will give you the synopsis for that. So Matched is by Ali Condi. In the society, officials decide who you love, where you work, when you die. Cassia's always trusted their choices. It's hardly any price to pay for a long life, the perfect job, the ideal mate. So when her best friend appears on the matching screen, Cassia knows with complete certainty that he is the one, until she sees another face flash for an instant before the screen fades to black. Now Cassia is faced with impossible choices between Xander and Kai, between the only life she's known and a path no one else has ever dared to follow. Between perfection and passion, Matched is a story for right now and storytelling with the resonance of a classic. So same thing here. I don't fully remember what the book is about, but I do remember how I felt reading it, snippets, everything here and there, because obviously I read these when I was literally in middle school, so I don't remember much. But anyway, following that is The Maze Runner. Everyone knows The Maze Runner movies with Dylan O'Brien and stuff, but this is the other book that I also did not read, but I did watch the movie, so it's included in here. The next book, kind of really funny. I looked up a list of YA dystopian novels, and this was one of the popular ones that came up. It's Rebels, City of Indra, the story of Lex and Livia, and it is by Kendall and Kylie Jenner, so literally their pictures on the back. I literally just bought this because it was by them, and I actually, well, I'll explain it when I get to this tier ranking list, but in a world of the far future, the great city of Indra has two faces, a beautiful paradise floating high in the sky and a nightmare world of poverty carved into tunnels beneath the surface of the earth. Kendall and Kylie Jenner, the youngest sisters in the Jenner Kardashian dynasty, have written a gripping tale of air and earth. Lex grew up in an orphanage deep in the dark below the earth, but even as a tiny child, she instinctively rebelled against her fate. The time when she will be judged, either useful to society or forced to live amongst the mutations in rock bottom, the lowest level of Indra. Even when she is chosen to become an elite cadet of the population control force, Only her fellow cadet Kane truly understands her longings. Unknown to her, one girl secretly shares her defiance. Livia Cosmo, the orphan heiress, may live on a sky island surrounded by wealth and privilege, but she has no more freedom than Lex. Rigid discipline governs her every movement as she learns the art of becoming a proper young woman, the belle of the emergence ball, ready to begin cohabitation with one of Indra's finest proper young men. So that's another one. And then the Selection series by Kiera Cass. I feel like this one is definitely more on the popular side, and I feel like I don't have to explain the synopsis. Basically, it is literally just a dystopian version of The Bachelor. Like, there's a guy who's a prince, and then a bunch of like eligible young women are chosen to come to the castle, win his heart, and then he finds the person he's gonna marry. So that's literally what the Selection is about. And then the last one is Uglies by Scott Westerfeld. So this is the book. I don't think this is the original cover actually, but it's a dystopian world where everyone is kind of born looking ugly, and then when you turn like 16 or something, you get plastic surgery, and then you just become beautiful and perfect, and like everyone in society is like beautiful, but like everyone's kind of like, it's all like mundane because it's like everyone's beautiful, like it's so boring, you know? So the main character rebels against this plastic surgery in society. She's like, I don't care if I'm ugly. I don't want to have surgery and be forced to look like everyone else and just be perfectly beautiful. Like, that's boring. And that is the entirety of the book. But anyway, so now that you know all the books that are on this list, I am going to start with tier ranking them. So my list goes top to the bottom. So top number 1, can I tattoo this on my brain? Like, it was so good. Still to this day, as a 23-year-old young woman, it still has an effect on me when I think about it and how amazing it was, and I want to have it tattooed on my brain. The next is 5 stars, like typical, like amazing book. So good. Like, great, loved reading it, but besides that, like, it's not, you know what I mean by 5 star. The third and middle tier is enjoyable. You know, it was good, wasn't bad, like I enjoyed reading it, but do I think about it ever really? No. The next one is, nah, I'm good. Like, if I had the choice to read it again, I'd be like, I'm okay, you know, like, it was fine. And then the last one is, I wish I could go back and unread this. Like, it was not good in my opinion. To this day, it would probably be a DNF if I tried to reread it again, or I would just, like, throw it against a wall if somebody forced me to read it. So, now we can get into it. Starting off with Delirium. So, we're starting off pretty strong. Oh my god, did I explain Delirium? I don't think I explained Delirium. Hold on. In alternate United States, love has been declared a dangerous disease, and the government forces everyone who reaches 18 to have a procedure called the cure. Living with her aunt, uncle, and cousins in Portland, Maine, Lena Holloway is very much looking forward to being cured and living a safe, predictable life. She watched love destroy her mother and isn't about to make the same mistake. But within 95 days left until her treatment, Lena meets enigmatic Alex, a boy from the wild who lives under the government's radar. What will happen if they do the unthinkable and fall in love? So, we're starting off strong because this book is a, can I get this tattooed on my brain? It literally, like, the way that I felt when I was reading it, I was like, oh my, like, this was one of the first books where I was like, oh my god, like, I love reading. Like, I remember, because middle school, I feel like, is when I started, like, getting into reading and stuff, because all these YA books are, like, dystopian popular YA books were the ones that kind of like launched me into becoming a reader. This was probably the first book that I read where I was like, oh my god, this is like life-changing. Like, it is such a good book. Like, the fact that she is fighting against her feelings and like is so close to, like, especially with her history with her mom, like obviously her mom was affected by love and like her life turned to shit basically. And then after that, it's like you meet this guy and you like can't help yourself because you're like, oh my god, like he's so amazing, I want to fall in love with him. And if I fall in love with him and he lives under the radar, like I could just join him. I'm gonna run away from society and like try to join him and rebel. And like obviously when you rebel against a society as strict as this, where falling in love is basically literally illegal. Oh my god, the tension, the drama, everything, and like fighting against the government. Crazy. I loved it. Divergent, I would say 5 stars, but I'm kind of like wavering just because of like the idea of how the movies went in my head kind of like tainted my love for Divergent, which kind of sucks. Like the first movie was really good, but then the movies after that, like they didn't even finish making the books into movies. Like that's how bad it got. And like Divergent, oh my god, like reading them and like, oh my god, I literally remember so well how the last one ended because of like how much it affected me and how much I was like, oh my god, I can't believe that happened. That's so crazy. But anyway, 5 stars. I wouldn't get this tattooed on my brain because of the movies and the idea that the movies kind of like were horrible and not so great. But oh my god, Theo James though, oh my god. Tobias, I love him. But anyway, 5 stars. The Giver. Once again, this is a book that I watched, did not read, but who knows, maybe one day I will give it a chance. My sister did read it and she did say it was so amazing, so I probably will give it a chance eventually. I would say this was enjoyable. I definitely think that like if I read it, I'd maybe give it a 5 stars just because like I obviously like the books are always way better than the movies. And like the movie was really good, but it wasn't anything like, oh my god, this is so amazing, you know? So that's all I have to say about it. The Hunger Games. I'm like between a 5 stars and a can I tattoo this on my brain? I think I'm gonna give it a 5 stars. Same thing, well, not same thing, like very different from Divergent because the movies were so incredible. And I feel like it was kind of the opposite of Divergent. Like I thought the books were like so awesome, so great, but then I think the movies were like so amazing that I kind of like leveled up my idea of the books. So like the Hunger Games series in general, I think I would give it like a 4.5 out of 5 stars, like 4.25, 4.5. But the movies were literally so amazing and so great to watch. Like what an experience. It was literally an experience. It was so awesome. So I think I am gonna give that a 5 stars because the movies like helped level it up in my head. Legend, can I tattoo this on my brain? Literally, like, if you guys haven't read the Legend series, what are you doing? Like, the love and the like enemies to lovers because she thinks he killed her brother and like, you know, like the tension and everything because it's like obviously there's something there, like there's chemistry and like all the crazy stuff going on in the world. Like the world building on top of the romance and like the tension and like everything with like the government. Oh my god. Like there's just something about me and like romance, enemies to lovers, or we can't do this, and rebelling against the government. Like those two in my head are like, oh my god. Wait. Oh my god, there's another series that I literally fits into this and I didn't even think about it. Now that I'm talking about Legend, I literally forgot about the Red Queen series, and this should be a part of it. So in the middle of this video we are adding Red Queen by Victoria Aveyard. Aveyard. I follow her on Instagram now. She's literally so awesome. But anyway, sorry, I was literally talking about another book. Okay, anyway, Legend, love it. Can I get this tattooed on my brain? Red Queen. By the way, I haven't finished this series. I only read the first 2 books, but anyway, in this world, there are 2 different types of people in society. So people with red blood, like typical normal people, and then people with silver blood, which is like royal people, like they have like powers and stuff, I'm pretty sure. And the main character, she has red blood. Like she's poor, she's, you know, an ordinary person, but she has powers. So it's everyone's like, what's going on? And then she eventually gets sent to live with the prince royalty, falls in love, and I can't tell you more because then it'll be a spoiler. But Red Queen. So now that we're talking about Red Queen, I guess I'll add it here. And I will just stick on a thing because I don't want to mess this up. But I would say it's enjoyable because so the first book I would say is close to a 5 stars, but then the second book is where it like falls off a little and like kind of like, I don't know, made me not think so well about the series in general. So like I'd give the series like a 4 stars. So, but to be fair, like I hear the 4th book is really good, but I also hear the 3rd book isn't so great. So I'm like, do I really want to suffer through the 3rd book to get to the 4th book? Maybe not, but maybe one day, who knows? But I'm putting it in enjoyable. And then the next one is the Matched series. So I also don't have this one as a book, but honestly, I literally don't remember what this book's about. Like I remember reading it, but like I don't remember enjoying it that much. So I'm putting this in, nah, I'm good. Just because it's like, whatever, like it's fine. Maze Runner, I am gonna put this in enjoyable as well. I just don't think the setting and the plot in and of itself was something that I feel like I would have enjoyed if I read it. So once again, I only watched the movie, but yeah, I don't know. It was all right. And then next one, Kendall and Kylie Jenner book is going in. I wish I could go back and read this. Literally because I didn't even finish the book. I DNF'd it. I don't know why I still have a physical copy of it, but just, I think just for the novelty of it, because it's literally written by Kendall and Kylie Jenner, like, okay. But yeah, it was alright. The Selection series. This had quite the impact on me. I think this was I think the Selection series was the first ever series, like dystopian YA series that I ever read. And I loved it. Like the plot was so good. And like I have all of the books like up here, right here. Where am I? Right here. These are all the books. I read all the series and it was so good. Like, but would I get, no, I wouldn't get this tattooed on my brain. But I loved it so much. Like it's really close to being tattooed on my brain, you know? Oh, and then, oh, no, never mind. I don't want to spoil anything in case somebody reads The Selection or something. The Ugly series. I'd say it's between nah, I'm good and enjoyable. No, I'm putting in it, nah, I'm good. Like, I remember, like, kind of enjoying it when I read it, but it was like, meh, like, this is okay. And I did end up reading, like, all the other books in the series, so maybe it wasn't enjoyable, but, like, see, I'm yawning even just talking about it. But anyway, I think it was okay, but yeah. But anyway, that is it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and also for that weird transition of me, like, literally adding a book in the middle of the video. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Let me know if you guys are interested in seeing more tier ranking list videos. I actually, as I was putting this together, saw one for tier ranking romance tropes, and me and my friends were literally talking about that last night while we were hanging out. So I think it would be really fun to put one together for that. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.